there what Mohammad Yunus could do in the coming days, looking at the situation which remains volatile in Bangladesh. He could possibly resign. He's already been mulling that and has been giving a threat that he may step down from the position there. Possibility of a resignation. Is there a possibility of an arrest, of a military coup? Well, he and the military chief don't see eye to eye. Is there a possibility of early elections? There is a December ultimatum given, or there is going to be an ouster similarly on the lines of what happened with Sheikh Hasina. Now, the rumor mill in Bangladesh is on an overdrive. Multiple speculations that are doing the rounds, and we are just reporting on those speculations as we believe that there is no smoke without fire. So let's break down as far as the unanswered questions are concerned that haunt Dhaka today. Exactly why is Mohammad Yunus frustrated? What is that he wants, and why he believes that several of those political parties are not on the same page? There is no consensus. Why is Mohammad Yunus threatening resignation? Now, what is being said as far as the Bangladesh military is concerned, its chief, General Zaman, has now set an ultimatum for elections. Now, who is not letting Mohammad Yunus function properly? Is it the military? Is it the Awam, or is it the other political parties? What does the turmoil in Dhaka also mean for India? Would it have any ramifications or any consequences is something out there to see, as far as when it comes to India's neighbors are not exactly in a state which could be considered as peaceful. Now, sources are telling our channel that there are 5 key reasons behind Mohammad Yunus's report I quit threat. Why is he threatening to resign? There are, what is being said, Bangladesh's political parties not being on the same page. This is one possibility. The another possibility that arises is that the political parties are not giving their full support to Mohammad Yunus to run, as far as when it comes to this temporary state or this government is concerned, peaceful and in a smooth manner, as it was promised post Sheikh Hasina, who was ousted from her country. Bangladesh's army chief has given an ultimatum to hold elections. And there has been another forced U-turn on the Rakhine corridor as well. Exactly when it comes to this corridor in question, we'll get you in detail. But it seems that General Zaman to Yunus has been giving him out a direct instruction that do not meddle when it comes to the affairs of the military, of the army. So what are the flashpoints that we are talking about in particular when it comes to the Rakhine corridor, and what is the emphasis that it has turned into a flashpoint? The military and when it comes to the temporary government, their relationship seems to be deteriorating, and sources say that the chief advisor and Bangladesh Army General Chief General Zaman are at loggerheads over the upcoming election. So what is being said that General Zaman has demanded that Mohammad Yunus government holds elections by the end of this year. Some are saying that there are general fears that Mohammad Yunus is trying to orchestrate his ouster. And amid all of this comes the issue of the so-called humanitarian corridor for the passage of logistics and supply, the provisions to the Rakhine state in Myanmar. Now, while Mohammad Yunus government is supportive of this plan, but the army chief of Bangladesh has vehemently opposed it. So let's delve into it further, exactly what this corridor is. Now, this proposal for the Rakhine corridor is backed by humanitarian corridor to Myanmar's Rakhine. This pushback by the Bangladesh army chief, he is against it. Why? Because he's been opposing this move, as he's called this corridor as a bloody corridor. Now, the warning he has given that they will not allow any activity that harms the sovereignty of Bangladesh, and General Zaman is of the opinion that keep army in loop when it comes to such key projects. Now, there is also a criticism that has come in from Khalida Zia's party, which is the BNP, calling it as a move which is unilateral and illegal. However, there are experts who are of the point of view that there is certain foreign interference which is at play when it comes to US power play to counter China's influence. And there is also a U-turn. The U-turn is on Bangladesh's NSA, saying that the corridor plan has not been discussed, and they have told the UN that they should consider it. So lots been happening in the past few months as far as in Bangladesh is concerned. But let's not forget, when it comes to the history of Bangladesh, what happened a few months back. If we go back to August 2024, it was Sheikh Hasina who was ousted. She was forced to leave her country under pressure. And now today, in May 2025, Mohammad Yunus seems to be under the same kind of an environment that seems to be developing. So is he going to face the same fate as Sheikh Hasina? For now, the situation in Bangladesh is volatile, and the next few days or weeks would decide what happens with Mohammad Yunus. But the future of an entire region, it seems to be at stake, and in that case, India's move will also become extremely important. So get in a word from Srinjoy now, because Srinjoy, as far as India's neighbors are concerned, on both sides, we are looking at conditions which are not peaceful at all. There is also a play of foreign interference and influences as well. And of course, when it comes to Mohammad Yunus or his military establishment, their take with India is also something the world has already seen. But now it seems that Mohammad Yunus himself is in trouble. Now, the so-called threat is he giving? Does he actually mean it, or is he under pressure?
First of all, as the army said, Mohammad Yunus's government is a caretaker government. It's a temporary government. Now, how temporary is temporary? He has already been in power from August, and the army wants the election in December. That's over a year. But Mohammad Yunus wants another 6 months. Now, that is the first problem between the army and Mohammad Yunus's government, because Yunus wants to stay for a longer period. Secondly, the army has said that the narrative that relates to the liberation of Bangladesh, which means the fight against Pakistan and all the brutalities in those months between March and December 1971, should not be forgotten. Thirdly, the army has said there should be no mob rule. Now, mob rule is the very, very urgent worry as far as Bangladesh faces is concerned now. Now, what is behind all this? What we are hearing is that members of the Jamaat, some of them very young people, have taken over positions of power in Bangladesh. And many of them are calling the shots.
Yes.
Now, this has led to much closer ties with Pakistan in recent times. Let me finish, Amita. Now, the question is, what happens now? Because the worry is that the Jamaat people could be doing something really over the top. That is one concern, which is why the army is saying again and again, we don't want mob rule. Now, many of the decisions that are being taken by the Mohammad Yunus government are actually being taken by these young hotheads who are in their 20s, who have affiliated to the Jamaat and have a completely different ideological stance. For instance, Sheikh Mujib, the father of the nation, had said, we are not Hindus, we are not Muslims, we are not Christians, we are Bengalis. Today, we find there are reports that memorials to Rabindranath Tagore, who wrote the national anthem of Bangladesh, are being defaced. Now, if that is so, then clearly there is cause for concern. And that is why there is so
ideology.
Much trouble.
Srinjoy, as he is pointing out exactly what seems to be a position that Bangladesh seems to be finding itself in. Will it there be a repeat of the unrest that was witnessed last year? Will Mohammad Yunus face the same fate, or will he buckle under the pressure as far as when it comes to the army there is concerned? Because